Guys, we're getting a season 2. Holy crap. Gotta be honest, I am really surprised to hear that we're getting a season 2 for Super Lovers. I mean, it was a good anime, don't get me wrong. I just didn't think it was doing that well in Japan, but I am so glad to be wrong about that. It must have been doing very well because straight away at the end of this episode, you have that nice little card looking like the manga saying season 2 is coming 2017, the first month. So that's greatness. It's coming straight away in winter of 2017 as well. We've only got like 2 seasons away. So man, what a great way to end this series. And this episode was really a damn good way to finish it. I mean, I thought 10 episodes was a bit short, but I'm not sure if this followed the manga exceptionally well, but this one did feel like the perfect ending to season 1. We had that great moment at the beginning when Haru was remembering originally meeting Ren. We had the whole episode dealing with Ren's parents flipping back to his past. Him having that childhood reversion moment. Oh man. This was just the perfect episode for the finale of season 1. I mean, for me, this captured some of the best moments from Super Lovers. It had that feeling where Haru is taking care of Ren, even though Haru as a person is still quite broken himself. I mean, we even had a sum up of Haru's basic strategy in this, really, where Haruko pointed out that Haru treats Ren the way he wishes that he'd be treated, basically. And that led to some amazing comedy with Aki and Shima, when Ren's told them that that's what Haru wanted, and for his birthday they should try to give him what he gives to Ren. And Aki, broke from that, which was amazing. Sitting in the corner crying, thinking about the fact that he would have to basically be romantic with his brother, because that's how Haru is with Ren. That was incredible. And those are the kind of moments that I love. It's the comedy mixed with the sweetness. It's not so much when the sexual content comes in, but they're very good at using that sparsely in this and mainly focusing on the emotional development of the characters. In particular, Ren, who in this episode was just adorable. He was so happy to see Haruko coming back. He was sitting around watching his phone all day, even though he normally hates his mobile phone, thinking about the time that he gets home when Haruko will be there. And man, Haruko is a beast. I love strong women, and the strong women in this have been incredible so far, but none so much as Haruko. I mean, her first introductory moment in this episode was just the best. I mean, Shima sees her, goes to give her the phone, and Haru's first words to her are, "Oh, Aka-san." Instantly, she's like, "Haruko-san desu," slams the phone down. She's done with talking to him. She ain't his mom. She's Haruko-san. He needs to get that through his head. Man, that just set up the amazingness that was to come. Because she was a beast throughout this whole episode. She's come here, she's planning on taking Ren away, and she is just taking no shit. She's just such an amazing character. It really does make you feel even worse for Haru, though. I mean, Haru basically lost his childhood. I mean, he was kind of taken care of by the Kaido family, but not as well as he should have been. I mean, he became so defensive around the whole thing of trying to earn their love, rather than just actually being himself and enjoying his life and finding love from parents around him. That really shattered him as a person. He always had to be the responsible one and look after Aki and Shima and do the housework and do his best, and that's just horrible to think on, man. I mean, it's nice to think that Kaidos were planning on bringing in Ren to kind of give Haru a little bit of love in his own life, but Jesus, it just didn't work out. Now at this point, Haruko's planning on taking Ren back away, probably just because she wants Ren herself. I mean, I'm sure part of it is she's worried about what Haru's been doing. I mean, she certainly does seem actually worried about the whole school situation. Which I can't really blame him for. It's just not his strong suit. And I can see where she's coming from. The fact that he can't do Japanese literature doesn't really hold him back when he knows so many other languages. He was raised using English in Canada. I mean, it's not a big deal for him. If he goes to any other country, just like she said, he'll be a top-notch student because he's acing just about everything else at college level. And so she's worried that he's going to end up messing with his career and messing with his future just because he wants to stay with Haru, and that's not really a very adult way to look at things. In her view, she has to get him out of there so that she can do her best for him. And really, just like Shima was kind of noticing, she seems to dote on Ren as well. She looks a lot like Haru, and clearly she has that kind of feeling as well, where she's probably missing Ren and lonely and wants him back, and oh man. I just felt so bad for Haru. I mean, you could see the jealousy all over him when she was pampering Ren, sitting, like, petting his head and stuff, being super loving to him. Super lovers. I dropped that name in the review. But yeah, she was being super loving to him, and oh man, Haru must have never gotten that. Haru's always been treated so harshly by her, and he was even doing that thing, talking to Ren about how the adult relationships just work like that. Oh man. Poor Haru. Seriously, poor Haru. He always had to act like an adult for everything. No wonder he needs Ren. Haruko needs to back off and go adopt her own child. Even if Ren does love her, like, she can't just be taking him. Still, that bit at the end was incredible, just setting up for what could be an amazing season 2. I mean, the conflict in the household just got real. I loved the two older women ganging up on them. It was brilliant. Especially Haru sitting there doing his old lovey-dovey thing, being like, I'd die if you left me, I'd die of loneliness. And the other adults just, like, taking the piss out of him in the background. 10 out of 10. Oh, man. So the one final thing I have to talk about in this review, because I didn't actually get to it because I'm just so hyped for season 2. Ren's parents. Holy shit. Haruko was actually trying to track them down, and it seems like he might have found the mother. I mean, the mother was just a drug addict who ended up selling her child for more drugs. That's horrible. And that explains why Ren has such a terrible childhood memory. I mean, we've seen it in his flashbacks several times. The whole reason that he's afraid of people in general, adults, but particularly adults who smile and act nice. They were normally the worst to him, so I can only imagine way back as a kid he was being, like, sold to do all kinds of things. And this was clearly while he was very, very young. I mean, they found him at age 8, and by that point he'd already been sold and had all these things done to him, so that's just disgusting. When you think of it that way, pretty much nothing that Haru does to him could be bad. Oh man, Haruko and their whole family situation really did save Ren. Pulled him out of a terrible place, and Haruko was noticing in his episode how chatty he was, how nice he was being. Even though he started to revert halfway through. Which was just because he was thinking about his parents, he was thinking about him being named Zero, and man, that was sucky. I definitely prefer Haru's interpretation of it just being a tiny, tiny thing. That's just so harsh, so perfect for Ren who hates being called small. Oh man, it was amazing. So yeah, this episode was a perfect finale to the season. It was a perfect setup for season 2. I'm so glad that they've decided they're getting a season 2. Hopefully next time they won't dip the animation quality so much. Like, they only did that after about episode 3 this season. I'd prefer if it stayed at that first 2 or 3 episode quality the whole way through the next season. We actually get a full 12 episodes. Either way, Studio Dean's been on fire recently. I'm really happy with what they've been doing. So yeah, I liked this one. Next season, the only thing even slightly like this that I think I'm watching is that Fudanshi Koko one. So if you're interested in watching a comedy about a Fudanshi guy and just his general life, then, you know, make sure you subscribe to me so that when that starts coming out, you can see my reviews on that too. Otherwise, I'll be reviewing Doc Kyusei whenever it drops in nice high-definition quality online. And other than that, we'll be waiting for 2017 for Super Lovers Season 2. So I hope you have enjoyed this review. If you have, then wreck that like button like you mean it, and subscribe if you haven't already to see next season. And I will see you guys next time.